July 2018. Local farmer Rakbar Khan is leading two cows along a narrow road late at night towards his village. What happened to Rakbar next has become a tragic fable, a story of alleged police complicity and political instigation, a story of how India has failed to deal with Hindu extremists. A murder that echoes many other violent attacks at the hands of Hindu vigilantes. Walking with Rakbar that night was his close friend Aslam. He says that from out of the darkness, a group of men appeared. They opened fire and then began attacking them.
दो आदमी ने तो मैं पकड़ लिया जी और कुछ लोग उसके पास पड़ गए जी फिर जा रहे नरमा में छुड़ा के नरमा खेत में घुस गए जी रात का समय मौसम खराब है जी मेरे पैंग को कोरोना हो फिर वहाँ से नुकनी देके चिंगाहट पड़ रही उस पे मारना की वो आगे एक भी जगह से ना छोड़ी जी जहाँ सुना तोड़ा जी बहुत बुरी हालत सुमारा जी.
Rakbar Khan was the alleged victim of so-called Hindu cow vigilantes. Rakbar's wife now looks after their 7 young children alone.
7 बच्चा मेरा आज 7 बच्चा ने मरद लोग भारियां पाल के दिखावे मैं कहाँ से पालूंगी इन्हें और ये हत्या ना करी उन्हें करी 8 हत्या.
For India's majority Hindu population, the cow is sacred, and in many states, the slaughter of cows is against the law. Religious minorities, often Muslims, have traditionally been free to farm and trade in cows, but there's been a crackdown by right-wing politicians, and critics say that this has in turn emboldened the Hindu extremists.
We are finding that mobs, often organized mobs, are targeting individuals who have been trading in cattle.
गर्दन काट दे हिंदू जय श्री राम भारत माता की जय.
Local, often poorly educated Hindus are recruited by extreme nationalist groups. These cow vigilantes patrol the countryside like private militias. It was one of these groups that stopped Rakbar.
These are people who are attacking religious minorities. They've chosen the path of violence.
The government doesn't keep statistics specifically on cow violence, but an organisation that campaigns for greater government transparency, India Spend, has analysed local press reports going back 10 years. They found that there were no reported lynchings in 2013. But since then, 46 people have been killed and 250 injured in cow-related violence. This area of Rajasthan has seen a spate of Hindu vigilante killings. So who was responsible for Rakbar's death? Everyone that we've spoken to, the victims' families, the police, they all talk about Naval Kishore Sharma. He's an incredibly difficult man to pin down. And we met up with him last night to try and convince him to appear on camera. He's just rung us to say he will. So we're going to head over there now before he changes his mind. Naval Kishore Sharma has been linked to other vigilante attacks in Rajasthan. When we do eventually meet, he denies being with his gang when they first stopped Rakbar.
करीब 12:30 का टाइम रहा होगा और मैं अपने घर पे ही सो रहा था. फ़ोन आने के बाद कुछ कार्यकर्ता वहाँ थे, उन्होंने गाय वालों को पकड़ा, गो तस्करों को पकड़ा. वहाँ पहुँचने के बाद हमने उस बंदे को देखा, वो जीवित था, ठीक था, बोल रहा था. वहाँ 2 गाय.
Muslims in this part of Rajasthan are routinely stopped and accused of smuggling cattle. And not just by cow protection groups. This cow checkpoint is run by the police.
उसे किसी दल की या किसी चीज़ की आवश्यकता नहीं होती. एक भावनात्मक रूप से जो काम करते हैं, सभी लोग पहले पुलिस को सूचना देते हैं. पुलिस प्रोटेक्शन के बाद ही सारे लोग एक्शन लेते हैं. एक ना कोई भी ऐसा एक्शन नहीं लेता. पुलिस हमेशा साथ ही होती है.
This has led to accusations that the police and the vigilante gangs have become too close. The night Rakbar Khan died, Naval Kishore Sharma claims he was with the police throughout, even taking these pictures of Rakbar.
पुलिस ने उसको इतना पीटा, दबा के मारा पुलिस वालों ने, और बहुत मार लगाई. यहाँ तक कि उसको ऐसे जूतों से ठोकर मारी इस साइड में लेफ्ट साइड में उसकी मतलब पूरी ताकत से 4 किक मारी इसको, फिर पट्टे से मारा जो फटा होता है पुलिस वालों के पास है, फिर लठ ला के लाठी से मारा, यहाँ होद लगाई, गले के ऊपर होद लगाई थी।
The police deny this, but they haven't been able to explain why they kept him in police custody for so long after the attack before taking him to the nearby hospital. This is where Rakbar was admitted. It's about 10 minutes drive away from where he was found by the police. I wanted to find out how long it took them to take Rakbar here. Well, they're just looking for the entry form for when Rakbar Khan was admitted. Yeah, this is the date here. This is it.
Yes, sir.
21st of July.
Okay.
So he was admitted at 4 a.m.
Yes.
You can see here, 4 a.m.
Yes.
So that's about that's over 3 hours after the police were first notified about Rakbar. Rakbar Khan died from multiple internal injuries. The vigilantes and the police officers blame each other for Rakbar's death. Several officers have since been suspended, pending an outcome of an inquiry. Rajendra Singh is the chief of police in the local area. He admitted to me that mistakes had been made.
There were some lapses on the police side, and on that issue, like we have suspended.
What were the lapses?
They have not followed the regular police procedure which they were supposed to do.
In that case?
In that case.
Was that they should have taken him to the hospital sooner?
Yeah. It was one big lapse.
Space is a supremium outside Alwar's district court in Rajasthan. Qasim Khan is acting for the family of Rakbar Khan and other Muslims allegedly murdered by cow gangs. He believes the vigilantes have been emboldened by the failure of the authorities to condemn the killing of Muslims. In particular, he points to the vice president of the BJP in Rajasthan, Hindu nationalist Gyandeva Ahuja.
ज्ञानदेव आहूजा का मीडिया के सामने साक्षात रूप से ये कहना कि इन अकबर को मारने वाले लोग सारे मेरे हैं और मेरे इशारे पे ये लोग इस तरीके के काम करते हैं गौरक्षा का काम के लिए मैंने इनको बोल रखा है.
Ahuja argues that the victims of vigilantes are not innocent Muslim farmers, but smugglers who steal cows to kill. It's not the first time Ahuja has defended cow vigilante gangs.
और ये बहाने बनाते हैं कि गांव वालों ने पीटा, गांव वाले अपने गांव में बैठे हैं, तुम वहाँ नालायक गए क्यों, तुम वहाँ पिटने के लिए गए, मार खाने के लिए गए, गौ तस्करी करने के गए, इस कारण से मार खाते हैं. और मेरा तो सीधा सीधा कहना है कि गौ तस्करी करोगे और गौ कृषि करोगे तो यूं ही मरोगे.
The lawyer believes Ahuja's alleged support for Naval Kishore Sharma is preventing victims from getting justice and keeping Mr. Kishore out of jail.
तो नवल किशोर इसमें 100% इन्वॉल्व है और कुछ नवल किशोर ज्ञानदेव आहूजा का ज़्यादा चाहता है एमएलए साहब का, तो उसके कारण उसको संरक्षण मिल रहा है. इसलिए नवल किशोर के खिलाफ 173 जांच भी पेंडिंग रखी है और उसकी गिरफ्तारी अभी तक नहीं हुई है.
We contacted Mr. Ahuja several times requesting an interview, but he never responded. The BJP national government in Delhi appears keen to distance itself from Ahuja's controversial views.
First, that's not the party's point of view. And we have very clearly and unequivocally always said if an individual's point of view is there, the party point of view is articulated by the party. And has the BJP promoted him, protected him? No.
Ahuja is by no means the only BJP politician accused of supporting cow vigilantes. Even one of Modi's own ministers has voiced support for those accused of killing in the name of the cow.
Many people have an interest in building a counter-narrative that the BJP alone is responsible for it, and I'm absolutely clear. We don't tolerate it, we won't tolerate any kind of violence against any citizen.
Prime Minister Modi recently reiterated his opposition to cow violence. But in November, he campaigned in Rajasthan, in the very region where Rakbar Khan was killed. And on stage with him, a slap on the back for none other than local politician Gyandeva Ahuja. It's hard to think of a more supportive gesture. Three men have been charged with Rakbar's murder. His wife Azmina is still waiting and hoping for justice.
समझ आइए मेरा बाप अल्लाह में गयो छोटी सी लड़की के है अल्लाह में कैसे गयो मेरे बाप गालू गयो मुल गालारो मेरे बाप मार दियो ज़्यादा ही बनने हुआ रो गाय छिना लिया था जब उनके ज़्यादा ही गुंडागर्दी कर रहा है।
The death of Rakbar Khan is much more than a tragic killing. It says a lot about religious tensions bubbling away under the surface in India. It also raises questions about whether politicians and even the police are doing enough to protect their own citizens.